What is up, guys? Sorry if I am a little late. I expected to have my playlist already done by the time I started. Sorry about that. So anyway, mm, I currently have a couple of things I am doing to try and, I guess you could say, improve on what last night's stream was. Last night's stream was great and all, but I, yeah, I spaced on a couple things. For the time being, I am currently attempting to throw my list together because I'm a ditz, and I forgot to do that crap normally. Okay, it's total formation I want. Okay. So, today's big thing, and probably the most fascinating, is today is the day where I step outside of myself and I attempt to draw something other than my usual, I guess my usual thing. So today is specifically dedicated to a couple of things, and that would actually be so today is dedicated to sorry, I'm spacing out. I expected to have these done already, but hmm. So okay, so I'm going to Control A, C, and usually I have this already done, but you know, I'm a ditz. So, starting with a nice and easy Yuri Baker, I believe? Yes, starting with a nice and easy Yuri Baker. Next up, in keeping with the order I received them, we are going to add Ellie. And Ellie, you are actually going to be in this corner here. Let's go ahead and free transform this so I get a good idea of what I'm working on. Okay. And then I agree, I probably should have had all this ready to go, but it is a little bit late for that. There we go. Now that I got those three put together, so, okay. Let's get some music, shall we? I'll have to go back to my... Alright, fine. I'll go back to my playlist. And we're going to go... Let's not do that. In fact, let us very much not do that. Let's go to Atlas.
Allergy sufferers, for continuous allergy relief, be wise or...
I'm annoyed by all of this. I despise that. So, I got myself a couple interesting designs to work with. And nice and easy. Let's start with... Okay. Yeah, guys, this is usually how I start off with these things. I think those are probably the same color. That hair is going to be interesting, though. Not good at mohawks. That's why I don't drive Tavros. So, this might interesting. This might be interesting. Let's see. Huh. We'll start nice and easy with... Well, what's easiest to work with? Let's give myself a paint palette I can work with. Well, maybe if I get a little smart, I'll remember to actually pick songs rather than, you know, playlisting them, but we'll see. Okay. Well, if we're gonna start with Yuri, uh, this is gonna be interesting. I think there's no doubt about that. Wait a minute. Oh, that's glitchware. Okay, that's glitchware. I can work with that. That means I need to make room in the shirt palette. Okay, glitch clothing, I remember that. Okay. You can see how I forgot to distinguish between one and the other. Okay. So, I'm going to use the hair color to identify this one, but I'm going to use the headset color. So, this might be interesting. Let's start with something. Yeah, I can work with that. Let's. I think that's a female character. Never used the mohawk before. Never felt like I should or wanted to. Let's got ourselves. It looks like 3 humans, I think, unless it's a modded race. In which case I approve. Let's see if I can get this up and running. Huh. I'm gonna have an interesting time with this. But it looks to be most that's upright and actually pretty upkept. Never worked with mohawks.
Keep your music playing, even when you leave the app.
Cassiopeia? Nah. Let's jump to Epsilon Indy. Honestly, I'm doing this based off the concept that usually, in my experience, the wiring engineers I have seen can get pretty offended if things do not look the way they should. And that's kind of what I'm basing this drawing off of, so no offense meant by this one. I certainly don't mean to paint the picture that Yuri is a high-profile, irritated kind of person. After all, they're your character, really, and I don't really have a whole lot on what to say about that. But I am noticing the chainmail, and that's going to pose an interesting problem, because I have actually never done chainmail. This might be interesting. Hey, bro. Nice of you to join me on the stream. Okay, so glitch shirt, but regular pants.
How many people you got watching?
I don't know. I'm working on something at the moment, so I haven't exactly checked recently. I don't like that. I really don't like that. No, it's not. These are not my characters.
Freedom on this canvas.
Oh, hush.
I believe that you can do it.
Hush.
I'll continue to quote Bob Ross until the end of time if I have to.
Oh god, if I'm gonna do this, I have to remember what some of the very, oh god, this might not be good. I think it's a nice start. Hmm. All right. All right. What's the next step? I think the next step here. Well, let's take this layer. Filter, brightness and contrast. Let's bring the brightness. Let's leave it as it is, but putting the contrast down. We'll color deepen to keep what it was supposed to be. And then eraser. We'll bring the density almost all the way down so that I can work under the picture rather than over it, because I've noticed that when I work over a picture, I have problems. Filter, hue and contrast. Let's bring the brightness. So let's start with something simple. Let's start by hold on. We're gonna move this under so that I can keep a lot of this in context and avoid some of the pitfalls I ran into in my previous drawing. So let's start by filling in a rough head shape here. And it looks like that's the only skin showing aside from whatever would be in the neck here. That makes my job exponentially easier here. So let's remove this so I can get this trimmed down correctly. So I think I'm going to use the skin layer as like the lowest of the low end layers. So let's add. Okay, let's bring the density down quite a bit. So it's going to be under the earpiece, the eye area, in essence the eye sockets here, and under the nose, and right at the edge of the scalp. And then let's add a highlight color. And now this is where I can start adding color where it's supposed to be. The whole concept of this drawing is literally, like, who even does that? So, true to the nature, now we're going to add, because of the color I chose for the light, let's bring the density down. Actually, no, I can probably do this with airbrush. Low density, low pickup. Okay. Let's bring the size down, density up slightly. Now, unlike yesterday's stream, I'm going to try to have this a little more cartoony and a little more jovial, a little more fun. Only because I actually usually don't do cartoony to an extent. You can see me trying to fight a lot of what I would usually do. So, let's do something outlandish. Well, I'll start with this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to blur across here. Because it's a soft light. This isn't supposed to be... Anyway, you get my point. Alright. Oh my god, I can see all the art student problems coming out here. Okay. Let's pick that versus... Okay. Now let's start adding the real frustration crease. Is that matching with the frame? Is that? Because the whole concept of this drawing here is the character here just pretty much lost their shit because of a really, really terrible wiring error. Well, not error, but, you know, wiring mess up. So, Let's do it this way. And then, let's see. I don't think a single strap, if it's a head mount, I don't think a single strap would quite do it. At least not across the back of the head. It's a recipe for a headache right there.
Let's suppose that you're writing a really important email to a colleague.
What if I don't want to suppose such things? Foxy guy. What? Maybe? Sorry, the username has me tripped up here. Okay. Oh, there is a strap that goes up. Okay, okay. In that regard, I'm going to need one layer underneath. Let's pick hair midtones. Go to the brush. What am I listening to? Oh, nice! Yeah, the name tripped me up. Yeah, I'm Foxy. What's up? Well, hang on. Event Horizon's nice and all. Let's move to something a little more mellow, maybe? Hey, Sorvade. And yeah, I am that Foxy guy. I forgot. I've still got Foxy the Pirate as my Steam username. I'm so sorry. I thought I was past this. So, this is gonna be interesting. Let me look back at this. That is no real help. Actually, let's move this layer under the skin layer so that I can just do this. God, mohawks are interesting, to say the least. If for nothing else, the name shocked me. I'm sorry. Okay. One layer up.
most advanced whitening toothpaste ever
Arrgh.
helps rediscover your pearly whites naturally.
I don't care. Okay. Let's move to haiku. So let's add some dark areas here. Alright! I can't guarantee this looks nice when I write in it because it might just look everything's all forward. Oh yeah, that's bad. That's nasty. Okay, let's see if I can fix that a little bit. I think I can work with that. Okay. Okay, so let's see what I can do about this, because this is starting to bug me, like, bad. So let's move up to the proper hair layer, and we'll work on it here. Okay. Now, let's start by airbrushing most of this into its proper shape. Okay. Then we bring the midtones. Then we get highlights. Now, before anyone freaks out, there actually was a purpose to erasing the head back there, and that was mostly so that I can set a nice... I guess it's for nothing else. It's to make sure that I set a nice hairline, you know? Despite that nothing else in this currently looks as good as I want it to. Oh, crap. Wrong layer. I'm going to be here. Okay. This might look terrible. This might just look like I'm making fun of things, and if it does, I am sorry. It is not my intention. I just am not really able to think very well at the moment. I'm tired. You know what? Let's see what I can do about making this look a little better. There we go. I don't know if I'm trying too hard or not. Aww. Thanks, Surveyed. I appreciate that. I might just be trying too hard. Alright. But I guess we'll see in a bit, won't we? Anyway. Let's take that, filter, here, saturation. Let's bring luminescence up a bit. Let's bring that down, we get to do that. I think that's a little closer to the color scheme already provided. Because most of that looks pretty bright, honestly. So there's that. Now, all that's well and good. Alright. Well, let's add a layer in here. And let's start with the guidance layer, because I'll deal with the mouth later. So let's go to the crayon, and we use a nice medium to dark gray to set some of the finer details. Okay, so we gotta start. I don't know how I feel about it, but we gotta start. So... I promise, guys, I'll have a... Yeah, I promise, guys, I'll have an actual... I guess you could say... soundtrack ready next time.
Your music won't skip a beat. No ads for 3.
I don't care about ads! Arrgh! This might be interesting. Okay. Well, let's start with what should be... Oh, that's actually real black. Okay, good, good, good. Let's start with what should be the chainmail, I guess. Underneath this, I'll add the arm as a separate layer. So I'm going to start with adding the shoulder underneath the chainmail. Go to reverse that. And then the shoulder underneath the other side of the chainmail, which I will have to do as a separate layer here in a second anyways. Yeah, I'm going to have to. Okay. Unless I want to do a chest plate on a separate layer, that might be interesting. Okay. Let's set a nice silver-ish color as a chest plate itself. And yeah, I will be editing that to be a lot more fitting here in a bit. But this seriously looks like it's glitch armor, so I think I have an idea of what I can do with that. So I've actually done metallics before, I'm just not amazing at it. Metallics just means stark contrast. I see absolutely no reason why this should be something overly descriptive of the feminine body. I'm going to choose something that's slightly rounded to be comfortable, and then leave it at that. So, oh god, but because of the way this design, we're going to have to be a lot more open with its design. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Okay, I'm going to have to check that because I kind of feel bad. Let me go to my real quick and just be sure about this. Gray, Ellie, Gray, Yuri. I'm going to assume Yuri is... yeah, I'm going to assume Yuri is a female character. I don't know. Hymn to the Stars is fun. Let's jump to Inviolate. Okay, I'm going to use this to define some of the edges here. There. Frickin'. Okay. Now I actually, if I'll be straightforward with you guys, I don't approve of having a separate, I guess you could say, cup for this. Like if I design armor, that's incredibly impractical. And usually kind of discomforting, I guess, according to what I've been told. So generally, when put in that position, my recommendation is I'm just going to do what seems logically to be the most comfortable. In this regard, I'm going to separate that out as spots of dark. Let's blur some of that out. Now if I'm separating this across here, I'm actually going to want to bring density way down on a brush, bring the size up, choose a mid-tone color, dang it. Shadows are going to cast down this way. And I'm going to cast down this way. Highlights, think about that logically for a second. I'm going to add the highlights for where the light is shining. I'm going to use something brighter than that, on a smaller brush than that. I'll use the airbrush for that. My concept, can we add a light that shouldn't be functional, but the way it's wired kind of is. That's where this drawing is originally supposed to be, you know, taking off, but I think I'm getting off course here. I'm going to blur this out because it's making me feel uncomfortable, and I don't know. Okay. Let's add an extra layer, and we're going to do this belt here. Actually, no. Near the chainmail layer, so we'll do that. The breastplate ends at the belt, and then it becomes chainmail for the next section, which is actually down this way. And it goes down this. Now, mind you guys, I'm doing this all from imagination at the moment. So if there are discrepancies between the way I'm doing this and the way it was supposed to be done, I apologize. Let's do that so that when I erase this, it comes out nice and clean. Okay, there. You are going to be that belt. And thankfully, this actually shouldn't be too terribly bad, because I'm going to have the belt across here. Okay. Now let's add the eraser so that I can clean up this area here, and then this area here, and then this area here. Let's see what's next on the list. One of my favorites. And then of course I get chat immediately. I get a ad immediately. Oh, that's lava exploration, never mind. But isn't this supposed to be glitch? Mercury? Ocean? Nah, let's go my favorite. Hmm. There. Now the head's in proportion, I can... There, let's get this into the shape it should be. And then let's add a muted gray across the back. And then a muted gray for the shoulder here. Let's double check this against the body thing. I can do that. And then let's add the white to add the highlight back here like it was supposed to be. Okay. Okay, using a smaller brush size, I can now do that. Oops, forgot. I have to set a tilt or I'm gonna mess it up. I think that looks much better. Okay. Let's do the next bit. And you know what? Let's move down to the main body, and I'm actually going to erase this part here. Okay. Okay, enough fiddly touch-ups. Let's see what I can do about getting that belt to look proper. Which means I'm going to grab a couple sample colors. Let's start with the darkest. So, there's that. And because of where the actual light is coming from, let's see. Let's add a bit of a darker shade here, and under the body, where there is currently no light coming from whatsoever. And then of course across the center, where there is also no light coming from whatsoever. Then, let's use the highlight color to say there's light from in here. And then when it goes around, screw it, let's go do airbrush. Let's use this to bring the highlights in from the back. Say, hey, there's light from this way. And then we'll have the light bleeding in across this side for a small ways. This one. And then let's pick that dark color, and we'll actually make it even darker. And then use that to touch up underneath. And then considering the nature of where most of this light is, let's pick that blue. And we'll say, oh, we're gonna have to be interesting. This is gonna be interesting. So I'm gonna feather on this blue on some of the areas of the leather. Where theoretically, it should be reflecting that, I think. Fine. Let's bring that step a little bit higher. I don't know how I feel about that. Uh, I've always considered what was Procyon, or however you say it. I've always considered Procyon to be like my Under the Ocean song. Just no BS there. Okay, now that I got that put together. Okay. Now, fair warning, guys, I wouldn't even know where to start with chainmail because it is not something I have done in the past, and I have very, very little confidence doing it now. So let's see. I want to say that looks alright, but a part of me is messing up over the definition on the hip section, and that bothers me because it looks less like an actual torso and more like I won't say it. I won't say it. I won't say it. All I will do is this. There, now that looks a little less bad. Okay. Now you can kind of tell when Chucklefish made the pants like this, there was supposed to be a distinction between pants and shoes. However, when you find the shadow pants, the one that leak like clouds of shadow, that is not there. And quite a few things are missing when you do that. So we'll see how this goes. Now, because of the way that I'm doing this, feel absolutely free to post on the Starbound Reddit, specifically on my post. If there are other characters you would like me to add, you are not limited to just one. Just be aware that any more than that might make problems. But that's just me, you know. I don't know. I think I'm thinking too much. Ugh. You know, it's kind of funny for being only 10:23 at night. I'm a little more tired than I normally would be. Sometimes I would almost be tempted to open up Starbound and just let the music play while I do this. So, now we add another. Because now okay, so let's do this as this hand here, which means I'm going to set the distinction between okay, I'm a little worried. What's the next tune? Psyche. Suppose I can allow it. Okay. Now, let's see. Let's start by using a color I can tell is for this specific set. So we're going to set this shoulder joint here. Shoulder joint here. And that means hand would go about here. Which I think I'm going to place the elbow probably about here. A change of plan, I guess. This is going to be interesting. Let's just darken it down and then we'll run a eraser over it. This is going to be interesting. Okay, next one, we'll bring this under the layer so I know what I'm doing. And let's start by the leather midtone. And by proxy, that means we're going to do... Wait, no, this was a leather midtone because that was the shoes. We're going to have... Yeah, let's have only the index finger here. Back of the hand. Wrist. Rest of the hand. And then to mid glove. Right? Right. Then we choose the chainmail color because the chainmail will go about to the arm. Specifically, we'll bring this to the elbow here for this part. A terrible way to do that. I didn't have much of an option there. Always found the idea of leather gloves to be rather interesting in games. Okay. Now we're going to build up the shadows here, and then we'll build up where they actually go around the glove, because I'm going to be kind of passively building wrinkles here. Okay, fine, it was going to be single, so only the index finger, but my brain decided to add the other one. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this like that. Leather has a level of contrast that I wasn't actually expecting. Now let's bring the brush size down a bit. Okay. Now let's bring that color down a bit further. And we're going to erase her out There we go. So we go to the brush.
Keep your music playing, even when you leave the app.
I'm sorry, guys. Okay. I was contemplating having this be like something they need their advisor to see, and then I changed my mind. Okay. Let's bring the density on that down a bit. Okay. See that right there? I want to remove some of that. Didn't like that. Okay. Okay. My brain is trying to fry itself. Hold on. Well, hello to my one viewer. Let's see. I love Florence. I don't know how I want to go about that. I don't know. I think I might just pick this up next week. Alrighty, guys. I think that's exactly what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to save this here and pick this up next week. Alright, guys. That was fun and all. But I'm going to pick this up next week. You guys have a wonderful night. Take care. Game on. Well, take care. Have fun. And as always, game on.